Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a face in this little journal that I made. I'm going to work with dylusions paints, very bright colors they come in, and really love the neon colors like the yellows and the pinks they've got. This is lemon zest, pure sunshine, and calypso teal. Waiting for my camera to focus. And I'm working with the colors that were already on these pages, just leftover paints that I smeared in this little journal. But first we're going to do some collaging. I am working with these Dina Wakely mixed media collage books. They come in a few varieties, I would say. But you've in every book you've got a thin version of something that she created and a thicker version. So you can create tags from the thicker versions and from the thicker paper, and then just collage easily with thinner paper like this one. So I'm just collaging a little bit to create a very big, a quick background. I've done this video about 4 times now because I trip over my tongue. That's how I stumble over my words, and the English is very bad. So forgive me, but I'm not going to do it again. So I hope you um, know what I mean when I say something stupid or weird. I'm sorry for that. So um, back to the page. I am going to work with these blue colors. Well, that's what I thought, but you know me by now. I'm changing my um, plans while I go. So I start out with a little bit of pink, purple on the page. And then I thought, okay, I love that. Love my bit of pink. And there was just a little bit of an orange brown tone going on that paper as well. So I thought, okay, I'm going to work with that for this face. So now I'm taking out the colors that I showed you, but I'm going to put a little pink in it. Just shaking the little bottle, and a little goes a long way, so you don't need much. And I just put a few drops on my work surface. I think one drop of every color that I'm going to work with. And these colors that I put on, you can mix them very well, I would say. They are, as you can see, a bit translucent, but I'm using the sunshine and the calypso teal and that pink, neon pink color, and just going to put a little bit down on the paper. So I smeared the pink on my pages and mixed it with a little bit of that blue. And now I'm going to mix the yellow with a little bit of gesso. And I already saw the beginnings of a face on that page, so I went with that. And I'm going to just shape an oval, or create an oval shape, and then her neckline. And I know there are better uh, artists or people who draw better than me, but I am not going for a realistic face. I'm just going to paint a face that I like. So I'm not going to worry about proportions or something, but I do want a little bit of symmetry. So I'm just going to, I always make sure that the neck, if you pull the line from her neck down to, up to her ears, then your neck starts from where your ear is, if that makes sense. So I don't want a small neck or a very broad neck. So, oh well, blabbing again. I'm sorry for that. I hope you know what I mean, but that makes it a little bit more realistic. So, anyway, I am using the paints to create a little bit of hair, or where I want hair to be. And you can see that I'm holding my brush at the end of my brush, just to make sure that I work a little bit loose and that my marks are loose as well. Um, I put down the basics, so hair, face, neck, and now I'm just going to draw her eyes in. And this is Derwent's aquarelle pencil. Well, aquarelle, that's not English, watercolor pencil. So I am just drawing her eyes in, and I always struggle to make sure that they look the same. So you can see it's very messy, but that isn't really no problem because you can use water to wipe away um, your mistakes, or just take an eraser and wipe away your mistakes. But I'm going to leave it that way, and you'll see I will change it up in just a few seconds. Let's start over again. So no problem there. Just a little bit of an idea where it needs to go. You have seen the faces. If you do want to create a little bit of a realistic face, then you make sure that you watch or uh, um, read a book on how to do it the right way, so proportion wise. So, for example, the spaces in between her eyes is one eye. Uh, the her nostril, the beginning of a nostril. If you put your finger against your nostril, then it goes alongside the inner. Oh, my English is so bad. I'm not going to explain it. If you like, just watch, just find how to draw a face, and you will find it. I'm sorry, I'm so struggling with my English, and I'm not going to do the video again. Otherwise, it will take me hours and hours. And you see what I'm doing, so I hope it makes sense. Now, I like this water brush. And you can see by going around the water brush, it creates a little bit of a watercolor idea, but it also creates a little bit of shading, so that helps to make it look a bit nice, sir. And then I'm almost done. And while I'm doing this, I'm already thinking on where to go next, because she needs a little bit more expression in her face and a little bit of more shading. But I don't want to do too much. And I do like the way this goes. So now I'm going in with just a little bit of gesso, and I like the translucent feel of that gesso. So I'm going in and color her eyes up. That masquerades my mistakes as well. Just going in and filling it all up so I can think about where to go next and make it a little bit more like they are even. And now I am going in, and with the gesso I'm going to put in some highlights and adjust, as you can see, some mistakes of things that I didn't like, and just go over it with gesso. And do the lips as well, just to help me figure out how I want it to look. Now, the colors that I'm going to use are still the same color. So there is the sunshine yellow again, and there's a calypso teal again, and that pink one as well. And that's just because I thought it was a very nice combination. And if you mix the colors up just a little bit, then it creates a nice skin tone. Well, if you call it a skin tone, because purple and blues and yellows are not, well, you know what I mean. Okay, so you can see sunshine yellow and blue make a nice greenish idea. So It darkens the yellow, and I go underneath her eyes and just wiggle the brush and fade it out when I get to her nose and her chin. And do the same on the other side as well. And you can see it gives a little bit more contrast and looks better this way. She was very pale. Okay, almost done with that. And now I go in with another color. So she's yellow, as you can see, but it'll change, I promise. But it usually takes me a lot, about 3, 4, maybe 5 layers to get where I want to go. And as I said, I am not a portrait artist or something. I just look at my face and I think, okay, I like this, and I leave it that way. Or sometimes I look at it from a distance through the lens of my camera, and then I see little mistakes or things that are not even, or and then I change it. But I usually just do what I feel like. And I'm creating a little bit more shading at her hairline and underneath her chin, on her neck, and just going in where I think it needs to be darker. And you can see that I am going in with white as well. A little bit mixing it with the same colors, mix it with gesso to make it a little bit more lighter. And I didn't like the her chin that much. So I'm just going in with the lighter color, and then I just fade and try to mix the colors just a little bit. And I don't use my heat gun to dry the layers in between. This paint dries very quickly, so I need to do multiple layers sometimes. And let's go in with where I want the lighter spots to be. So on her nose, chin, underneath her nose, and on her forehead. And you can see that I've done that. I just tone it down just a little bit, and then I go in with the dark colors again. Just the same spots underneath her eyes, on her cheeks. And I'm just fiddling. That's basically what I do, but you can see what I'm doing. So I follow the same lines every layer that I do, and then I go on until I'm satisfied and she looks pretty. And I do make sure that underneath her eyes it is dark. So she needed to be a little bit lighter. So going in with gesso again, mixing it up with the color that I've used to create a nice blend. And then I thought, okay, I was fiddling too much, so I took out a baby wipe, and you can see that I put down some paint, and then I'm going to go over it with the baby wipe. And that tones down the whole picture and blends everything, because the layers underneath are just a little bit wet as well, so it mixes very well. And you can see it lights up if you do this. But then I saw if I rub just a little bit harder, I'll take away the paint that layers that I put on top of each other, and then I get the first layer I started with. And I really like that. So I'm just going to rub with my finger and take a clean spot on my baby wipe every time I do it, and then just you can see that on her cheek there are some words from that background paper, collage paper that I put down. So I really like that. And then I go in with my Derwent Inktense pencil. That's also a watercolor pencil. And then I'm going to draw the eyes back in. And I know this video, and you can see, did you see what I did? I just drew a little circle without drawing it, but just mapping out where my circle begins and where it ends. So I create a nice round shape. And I do the same on the other side, and I'm trying to make it look symmetrical, if that is the right word for it. And just putting the line down. You can see I am a bit larger than the other eye, but I don't care that much. And again, I did the circle thing. And do the same. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just drawing an imaginary circle, and then the top half of the circle you don't see, but the other bottom half of the circle you see, because that are her pupils. Okay, I colored them in, as you can see, and I drew her wenkbrauwen, that's Dutch, eyebrows, that's what I wanted to say. And I'm just going over her hair just loosely with the Derwent as well, and just go around the face to give it a little bit more shape and make it look a little bit prettier. I do like this loose way of drawing, and I don't do ears, but I thought, okay, why not do ears? Ears measure from your eyes up to your nostrils, well, about there. But in the end, I'm not gonna go with that because I really don't like ears. I don't know why. So I'm going in with that same blue color, and I color in her eyes, making sure that there is a little bit more dark blue underneath her eyelids, so to create a little bit more shading. And I'm going to the side to get a little bit of gesso, and then just a little bit of pink dots in her eyes. You can't see it that well, but it looks nice when you look up close. And the same color. So you can see that I made this face with only 3 colors and gesso. So you don't need that much to create something nice. If you start out with a good collage, then you can get to a nice face without needing too much materials or mediums. All right, now it does look pretty, I think. I do like the way this turned out in the end. So I'm just gonna look at it a little bit more, and the next day I got back to it and I looked at it and I thought, okay, she needs just a little bit more sparkle and highlight. So I took out my Posca pen and I started just to highlight the usual spots: lips, eyes, tip of her nose, chin, and well, that was it. So these are the Studio Light Signature Collection sticker sheets from Art by Marlene. I bought some of her stamps. I'm going to work with them in the next video. And these are so much fun. These saying are so much fun. They've got different fonts, and they've got a white version and a black version of every saying or quote or sentence or weird words, and very funny it is. So, but I thought I would just stick this on the page. And she gazed at the moon and counted the stars. Now, almost done. You know what comes next. Just go over it around it with a black pen, I'm going to use a micron in this case, just scribble and around it, and then we're almost done. And after I do this, I just watch my page, or look at my page, and then see if I you really need to do more to it, or could you say that it is done. So I thought, okay, black line, why not, because it's my signature. Just black lines. I really like it. It makes the page come together a little bit more. So putting that line down, and then just watch, look at it. What does it need? Does it need something? And I don't think that this needs anything more than that's already there. So thank you for watching, everyone. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up if you would. And I will see you next time. And thank you for watching. Bye bye, everyone.